Last week, a 67-year-old gentleman sat across from me, patting his midsection with a resigned smile. "It's just age, right?" he asked. I slid a folder toward him, evidence from long-term research on older adults, and watched his jaw loosen as he realized the story he'd been told about aging and bellies was incomplete. It isn't about punishing workouts or starving yourself. After 60, your body's chemistry changes, yes, but that means you need a smarter playbook, not a harsher one. Today, I'll walk you through 5 precise movements I recommend in clinic because they work with your changing physiology, protecting your joints, engaging your deep core, and nudging stubborn belly fat to finally budge. These aren't floor crunches, and they're definitely not breathless boot camps. They're quiet, targeted, and deceptively powerful. I'll explain the why, show the how, and give you simple cues you can remember even when the dog's barking and the kettle's whistling. Stick with me to the end, because the final movement is the one most people skip, and it's the one that changes everything when the old methods stop working. Your metabolism hasn't betrayed you. What usually happens is this: the deep core muscles that act like your body's natural weight belt become sleepy, posture shifts forward, breathing gets shallow, and the exercises we're told to do target the wrong tissues. So we crank out more reps and just end up sore. The key is precision. Think about your midsection as a team: transverse abdominis, obliques, diaphragm, pelvic floor, glutes, and the back muscles that support your spine. When they coordinate, your waist feels supported, your balance improves, and your body becomes more willing to use abdominal fat for fuel. We're going to wake up that team gently but effectively. I'll give options if you have stiff knees, sensitive wrists, or balance concerns. You'll learn why small angles, slow lowering phases, and timed breathing matter far more than speed or sweat. Ready to move with purpose? Let's start with a standing exercise that looks simple until you feel it in all the right places. Stand tall with your feet hip-width apart and hold a light object at chest height. A 3 to 8 pound dumbbell, a water bottle, even a small bag of rice. Soften your knees. Now lift your right knee toward your left shoulder, not straight up, but on a slight diagonal, while you gently press the weight forward from your chest. Pause for a full 2 count at the top. Then lower the foot back to the floor in 3 slow counts. That diagonal path is the magic. It recruits your deep core, the muscle that wraps like a corset, and asks your obliques to help stabilize your spine. Keep your chest lifted, eyes forward, and exhale like you're blowing out birthday candles as the knee rises. Switch sides and repeat. Start with 8 lifts each side and work toward 12 to 15. This shouldn't feel like a hip flexor only move. You want to sense a warm, supportive band across your low belly and sides. If balance is tricky, place a fingertip on a counter or the back of a chair. If your shoulders get tired, reduce the reach and focus on that controlled lowering. Feel that? That slow descent is doing more than you think. Common pitfalls to avoid: hiking the shoulder toward the knee, collapsing the chest, or tipping the pelvis forward. Keep the ribs stacked over the hips, as if you're wearing a tall, invisible crown. Imagine the knee floating up rather than yanking up. If you only feel tightness in the front of the hip, exaggerate the diagonal slightly and think belly draws in, ribcage stays quiet. You can also try a micro hold at the top to dial in the right muscles. For a gentler version, do the same pattern seated on a sturdy chair. Sit tall, hold your weight at the chest, and lift the knee diagonally while you press forward. For a stronger variation, add a soft band around your thighs to increase resistance. Do this series first thing in your session to wake up the deep core and set the tone for everything that follows. When you've done 2 rounds, shake out your legs, roll your shoulders, and notice how your posture already wants to stand a little taller. Next up, we'll take a classic movement and tweak it so your midsection, not just your arms, does the heavy lifting. If floor push-ups feel like a distant memory, good news. A wall can be your best training partner. Stand about 2 feet from a wall hands flat at shoulder height, fingers spread, wrists happy. Before you move, brace gently as if someone is about to tap your belly. This is your active plank. Maintain a straight line from the crown of your head through your heels. No sagging hips, no sticking the bottom back. Lower your chest toward the wall in 2 slow counts. Elbows angled about 45 degrees from your sides. Pause for a heartbeat. Press away in 2 counts. But here's the upgrade. Feel like you're pushing from your core and glutes, not just your arms. That subtle whole-body effort teaches your midsection to stabilize while your arms move, and it dramatically increases how many muscles are involved. Try 10 to 12 reps, rest for 30 seconds while staying gently braced, then repeat for 2 more sets. Want a challenge? Step your feet a few inches farther back. Want it gentler? Step closer. Your body angle is your dial. And no, we're not chasing sweat. We're chasing quality tension. If your wrists are sensitive, make 2 small fists and press through the knuckles, or use a folded towel against the wall for cushioning. Keep the neck long and the chin slightly tucked, as if holding a peach under your chin. No craning. Breathe out on the press, in on the return. Watch your hips. They love to drift. Imagine a straight zipper from chest to pelvis. Keep that zipper aligned. What I love about this movement is how quickly it translates to life. Getting out of a chair, gardening, carrying groceries. Your core learns to join the party instead of letting your shoulders do it all. A little insider tip. During your 30-second rest, stay tall and lightly engaged. Don't collapse. That low simmer of effort keeps your engine warm and makes the next set more effective. After 3 neat sets, shake out your arms, do a gentle chest stretch with hands behind your back if comfortable, and take 2 slow breaths where the ribs expand sideways. Now that your pushing muscles and core are awake, we'll switch to a joint-friendly rotation that spares your back while trimming the waist. Grab a firm chair without wheels and sit toward the front edge, feet under your knees, spine long but relaxed. Place your fingertips lightly behind your ears, no pulling, and let your elbows open comfortably. Lift your right knee while you rotate your ribcage to the right, aiming your left ribs toward the lifted knee. Notice I didn't say touch elbow to knee. We're coordinating 2 distinct actions, a knee lift and a ribcage rotation. That separation means more muscles have to cooperate, which is what your body needs after 60. Return to center smoothly and switch sides, left knee up as you rotate right ribs toward it. Keep the motion steady, about 1 second per side. Exhale on the lift and rotation. Inhale back to center. Aim for 20 total rotations, 10 each way. Rest, then complete 2 more rounds. If your neck tries to help, lower your hands to your ribcage to reinforce the rotation without strain. If you have a history of back discomfort, think tall through the crown and keep the rotation small at first. Quality beats range. You'll feel your waistline muscles turn on without the floor crunch misery. Between sets, stand and march in place for 20 seconds to refresh your circulation and reset your posture. To make it easier, place your hands across your chest and reduce the knee height. To make it tougher, hold a light ball or pillow at chest level and gently squeeze as you rotate. That subtle squeeze invites deeper core engagement without stressing your back. If a hip replacement or balance challenge makes knee lifts tricky, keep both feet down and rotate only the rib cage, focusing on breathing out fully as you turn. What I treasure about this variation is how it respects the spine while still giving you that I'm working feeling through the middle. Many of my patients tell me this is the first time rotation has felt safe in years. If you're starting to sense warmth across your torso and a little lift in your posture, that's your evidence that you're recruiting more of the right tissues. Next, we'll stand again and tap into a time-tested pattern that pairs movement with breath to calm the nervous system and encourage fat to let go. Stand with your feet a touch wider than shoulder width, knees soft, arms resting at your sides. Take 3 easy belly and rib breaths. Inhale through your nose. Feel your ribs expand sideways. Exhale through relaxed lips. Let your ribs settle. Now lift your right arm in a soft arc overhead as you inhale for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 6 as you glide your torso to the left. Left hand sliding down your thigh. Right arm reaching gently overhead. Keep your chest facing forward, no twisting. And imagine space growing between your right rib cage and your pelvis. Hold at your comfortable end range for a 2 count, still exhaling. Then inhale back up, arm floating down. Alternate sides for 8 to 10 bends each way. The long, slow exhale isn't just calming. It can shift your body into a more restorative state, which helps regulate how and where you store energy. You'll feel a stretch, yes, but it should never be a pinch. Think length, not collapse. Stay tall through the crown. When you keep the pelvis steady and let the rib cage glide, your obliques, deep core, and breathing muscle learn to partner beautifully. If this is helping, take a moment to subscribe to Senior Vitality Pro and tell me your age or where you're watching from in the comments. I read them and shape future topics around your needs, so your voice genuinely steers what we cover next. Now for the movement that often becomes a turning point after 60. Lie on your back with knees bent and feet hip-width apart, heels close enough that you could graze them with your fingertips. Arms rest by your sides, palms gently pressing the floor. First, quiet preparation. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts. Feel your ribs expand. Hold for a soft 2 count. Exhale for 6 counts while you imagine your belly button melting toward your spine and your ribs easing down. On your next exhale, press through your heels and lift your hips until your body forms a long line from knees to shoulders. No dramatic arch, long and steady. Keep your chin away from your chest and your ribs gently down. Now, layer in segmented breathing. Inhale 2 counts, hold 2, exhale 2, hold 2, maintain the bridge. If that feels okay, add tiny pulses. Lift the hips half an inch and return to the line. Slow and controlled. Start with 20 to 30 seconds, lower down in 3 counts, rest for 20 seconds, and repeat for up to 4 rounds. You should feel glutes, hamstrings, and deep core all cooperating, not a pinch in your low back. If your hamstrings cramp, bring your heels a smidge farther from your hips and press more intentionally through the entire foot, especially the big toe mound. If your lower back tenses, lower your bridge a little and remind your ribs to ease down. To make it easier, slide a folded towel under your pelvis and lift into a smaller range. To make it more challenging, place a light band around your thighs and press the band gently outward as you hold the bridge. This invites the outer hips to assist and stabilizes the pelvis. Common mistakes to sidestep: flaring the ribs upward, turning the feet outward excessively, or clenching the neck. Keep your gaze soft on the ceiling and your jaw unclenched. If getting to the floor is tough, try a standing wall bridge. Back against a wall, feet a step forward, and soften the knees as you gently tilt your pelvis to flatten the low back into the wall. Then return. Same breath rhythm, same idea of ribs down, pelvis heavy. The bridge family builds a strong backline and a responsive front line. When that partnership clicks, the waist responds. Let's put these pieces together into a practice you can actually stick with. 2 or 3 days a week, do a 25-minute session. Start with 2 rounds of standing knee lifts with resistance, then 3 sets of wall push-ups, then 3 rounds of seated bicycle rotations, followed by 8 to 10 side bends each way, and finish with 4 short bridge holds. On alternate days, choose a lighter maintenance version. 1 round of each movement, plus a 10 to 20-minute easy walk where you focus on long exhales. Always begin with a gentle 2-minute warm-up, march in place, arm circles, ankle rolls, and end with a minute of quiet breathing. Progress slowly. Add reps first, then increase range, then add light resistance. Your goal is consistency. If life gets busy, do a microdose day. One set of each movement, 5 minutes total. Those 5 minutes teach your body to expect care, and that habit will serve you better than a heroic workout followed by a week off. Write down what you did in a small notebook. Progress loves proof, and your future self will be proud. Measuring success after 60 needs a kinder lens than the bathroom scale. Take a waist measurement at the belly button level every 2 weeks. Same time of day, same tape placement. Notice how your clothes sit around the waistband. Track energy. Did that afternoon slump ease? Note your posture. Are your shoulders less rounded? Pay attention to your balance. Can you stand to put on a sock without wobbling? Sleep often improves when breathing deepens and the core stabilizes. Jot down how you sleep and how refreshed you feel. Count wins you can feel. Getting up from a chair without hands, carrying groceries with less strain, taking stairs with confidence. If you enjoy data, set a timer and see how many controlled wall push-ups you can do without form breaking. Retest monthly. Or note how long you can hold a precise bridge without your ribs popping up. Tiny, steady improvements are the markers that your body's systems are aligning: metabolism, muscle, and mood. The inches tend to follow the behaviors that make you feel better first. If your progress stalls, don't jump to harder and faster. First, refine. Slow your lowering phases. Those 3-second descents are powerful. Reduce your range slightly and focus on feeling the right muscles switch on. Tidy your breathing. Long, relaxed exhales during effort signal your nervous system that you're safe, which helps your body let go of storage mode. Consider your recovery. Older bodies can thrive on thoughtful rest. Alternate hard and easy days, and give stiff areas a bit of self-massage with a tennis ball against a wall. Hydration matters more than we think. Sip water consistently. Protein supports muscle health. Aim to include a source with each meal, adjusted to your needs and your clinician's guidance. Add a leisurely walk after meals when you can. It's remarkable how a gentle 10 minutes can help your body use energy well. If you're doing all this and still feel stuck, change one variable for 2 weeks. Add a set, increase the diagonal in the knee lift, or squeeze a pillow during the seated rotation. Plateaus are messages, not verdicts. Safety first, always. If you've had recent surgery, uncontrolled blood pressure, chest pain, unexplained shortness of breath, new or worsening dizziness, or significant joint pain, talk with your healthcare provider before starting. During movements, you're looking for effort, warmth, and a sense of support, not sharp pain, numbness, or anything that feels alarming. If you feel unsteady, set up by a counter or use a chair for balance. Clear your space. No slippery rugs, cords, or low tables lurking near your ankles. Wear supportive shoes if bare feet feel unstable. If you have osteopenia or osteoporosis, avoid aggressive twisting and focus on long spines and small, controlled ranges. Replace anything that provokes pain with a gentler cousin. Seated knee lifts instead of standing. Wall pelvic tilts instead of floor bridges. Tiny torso glides instead of deep side bends. Time of day matters too. Many people feel best mid-morning after a light snack and some water. Treat these as skills you're learning, not tests you must pass. I've watched these 5 movements become anchors for people who thought change had left the station. A retired teacher who feared every sneeze because her core felt so unsupported now laughs without bracing. A grandfather who dreaded stairs now carries his granddaughter up them with a grin. A caregiver in her early 70s who spent years prioritizing everyone else now uses 10 minutes before breakfast to claim her strength, and her waistline is quietly following. The through line in every story isn't perfection. It's gentleness married to consistency. Your body responds to invitation better than to threat. When you choose angles that recruit rather than irritate, when you pair breath with movement, when you coax your deep core awake, your midsection begins to feel like a team again. If it's been a long time, your first victory is simply feeling your ribs and pelvis communicate. That conversation is metabolism, posture, confidence. And confidence changes how you move through the rest of your day. Let's circle back to our 5, with the smallest cues that make the biggest difference. For standing knee lifts with resistance, think zipper up the front of the torso and diagonal knee, forward press, long spine. For wall push-ups, set your plank before you move and push the wall away with your whole body, not just your arms. For seated bicycle rotations, separate the tasks. Knee lifts, ribs rotate, neck stays easy. For standing side bends, lengthen rather than crunch, and let the exhale be longer than the inhale. For the bridge hold, ribs down, heels strong, tiny pulses only if your low back feels supported. These single-sentence cues can be your pocket reminders. On a day when the plan goes sideways, do one cue for one movement and call it a win. The brain loves repetition. The body loves patience. Together, they build a routine that doesn't depend on motivation. It happens because it's who you are becoming. Someone who moves with care every single day. What about days when joints ache or energy dips? Begin with breath. Sit or stand tall and do 6 rounds of inhale for 4, exhale for 6. Then choose the gentlest versions. Seated diagonals with a water bottle, hands to wall mini push-ups with barely any bend, ribcage glides without knee lifts, fingertip to thigh side reaches, and wall pelvic tilts. This rainy day plan takes 5 minutes and keeps your nervous system soothed and your habits intact. On higher energy days, increase the range of motion, add a light band or a slightly heavier object, or do an extra round of the bridge. If you enjoy walking, tuck these exercises before your walk. They prime your posture and help your gait feel lighter. If you prefer to walk first, slide the bridge to the end. It pairs beautifully with warm muscles. Remember, soreness isn't required. A sense of warmth, support, and better posture is what we're after. That's the feeling that tells you your deep core woke up and your body's energy use is shifting. A quick word on expectations. Your waist didn't arrive in its current state overnight, and it won't reverse overnight. But the body is astonishingly responsive to the right nudge. The first 2 weeks, the wins are subtle. Better posture, less back crankiness, fewer oof sounds getting out of chairs. Weeks 3 to 6, clothes begin to skim differently. You stand at the kitchen counter with more ease, and you notice you're breathing deeper without thinking about it. Somewhere along that timeline, the tape measure starts to cooperate. If you hit a rough patch, come back to fundamentals, slow lowering, long exhales, alignment over ambition, and compassion over commentary. You are not behind. You are in process, and every rep of quality movement holds more value than 10 rushed ones. I've never met a human over 60 who didn't get stronger with this approach. The body is wired for adaptation at every age. We just have to speak its language. If you like structure, here's a gentle week you can adopt immediately. Day 1, full routine. Day 2, microdose plus a 15-minute easy walk. Day 3, full routine with a few added pulses in the bridge. Day 4, rest or gentle stretches and breath. Day 5, full routine, and step your wall push-up feet an inch farther back. Day 6, microdose and a stroll after dinner. Day 7, rest or a favorite activity. Gardening, dancing in the kitchen, grandkid chasing. Adjust any day for how you feel and what your doctor recommends. If mornings are hectic, split the routine. 3 movements early, 2 later. If evenings are calmer, shift there. Make it your own. Place your weights and band where you see them. Leave a sticky note with your favorite cue on the fridge. Tie the habit to something you already do daily. After you make coffee, you do knee lifts. After lunch, seated rotations. Before brushing your teeth, a 30-second bridge. Small anchors build big change. Let's close the loop with the man from the beginning. He didn't need punishment. He needed precision. We chose the diagonal knee lifts, the wall push-ups with that active plank, the chair rotations that didn't rile his back, the side bends with long exhales to soften his stress, and the bridge hold that quietly linked his glutes to his deep core. 3 weeks later, his posture was different. He told me the car seat felt better, the afternoon slump was shorter, and the notch on his belt got friendlier. That's not a miracle. That's physiology meeting consistency. If you came in feeling skeptical, I respect that. Try one movement today. Feel the details. Notice what changes, even if it's just your breath. Then stack the next piece when you're ready. My job is to give you tools you can trust. Your job is simply to begin. Then begin again tomorrow. Tell me this. What's the one thing that's been getting in your way? Joint stiffness, fatigue, not knowing where to start, or time? And which of these 5 are you willing to try first? Pick it now, set a tiny promise to yourself, and keep it. You don't have to do all 5 today. One precise set, done with care, is enough to change the trajectory of your week. You've got a body worth investing in, and a future self who will thank you. I'm cheering for you, and I can't wait to hear how you feel after your first few sessions.